Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Friends You Can Keep podcast. We've been away for the past 2 weeks. One unexpected week, and one what would have been a planned week. Easter, we were going to be off. Well, no, I guess
the wedding,
the weekend after Easter.
Yeah, Easter. Oh, because we stayed at your parents' house. I'm like, why did Easter go off the rails?
We stayed at my parents' house, and I had that fucking knockoff Lego thing to build that was missing pieces anyway, so that didn't get finished. And my aunt was up. It was just a lot going on that we didn't get to record. And then the following weekend, we had a wedding on Friday.
And then we did Easter again.
We did Easter again with your family on Saturday. We had just a lot going on the past 2 weeks. But we're back. And as promised, it was supposed to be 2 weeks ago, obviously. But we're going to jump right in. This episode is going to be Kelly guessing our friends and family based on their favorite TV shows.
It's so hard.
So, a disclaimer for this episode: when I did movies, your name was on the list. My name is not on this list because at some point down the road, hopefully sooner than later, I don't know exactly when, I want to bring in maybe like one or two other people and have multiple people, not just you, try to guess my favorites across whatever genres of
we will
options.
Guess yours.
Yes, you will guess mine. But that will be a later date. So my picks are not on here. We will get to that in a later episode.
I thought maybe you just couldn't pick.
But to keep the number, I definitely could. It's tough, but I could. But to keep the number the same, if you flip your paper over, the last name on there is a name that we did not have before.
Oh, geez. How'd you get him? On Facebook?
Yeah, just messaged him on Facebook. For those that aren't in the know, it is the other Brian in Kelly's life.
Former, yeah, he's still around. Yeah. Former coworker.
He didn't die.
Well, I meant like...
you don't see each other every day like you used to when you worked together, but...
Yeah.
And there are a few different... my dad's not on here because while I'm sure he had answers, my dad doesn't watch a ton of TV, so I didn't think he would be...
Yeah, and it might be... Well, I mean, all of them will probably be hard.
Like, I'm sure his answers would have been like... I don't even know. He watches the news, and then he watches, like, reruns of The Big Bang Theory, reruns of 2.5 Men.
But, like, I don't know if he would say...
And then, like, are those... Favorites. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's hard. It was a hard thing
what you put on in the background isn't always...
So I took him off. I don't remember who else I took off of mine.
I don't think I had Lance and Lauren in time for yours. You took off a couple of your
You had friends. Lance. I took Zeppelin off because you don't know Zeppelin really at all. So I took Zeppelin off of yours.
Oh my God, Paul's going to be so hard. These are going to be... If someone said Sports Center, I'm going to be so annoyed.
No, there are no... These are...
I mean,
I will say... As a preface,
there would be a couple that I could pick, but
I will say as a preface, these are all actual shows. The news isn't anything on here. There's no Sports Center. Yeah. There's no sports related.
Yeah. Although that would have made some people.
It's not like the Final Four or the Masters. Like, it's none of that.
Yeah,
it's these are all legitimate
TV shows, not programming.
I should have thought out ahead of time, like how I was going to ask.
I know. I when I did yours, that was hard.
So we'll
is my list in the same order of your list?
Your names, yes, are in the same order.
Yeah.
So I just wrote them down.
Yeah, I'll just.
But I won't be going in order, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, the only difference is I put Brian Donovan at the bottom. He's at the top of mine. It was my name, and then I was like, well, I don't want to do mine. And
Got it.
I just added the D at the end because it's.
Got it.
I want to find one that's maybe a little easier for you.
Give me a lob.
To start.
But see, some of these, because I'm looking at the list, Some of them, like, well, if this show comes up, it's probably one of these two, but there's going to be a lot of overlap.
There are quite a few similar answers.
Oh, no.
And when we get to it, we will get to it. But there is an answer that was given by a couple people that I cannot condone.
Oh.
And we'll get to it when we get to it. But I cannot condone it being
The Office.
No. You'll know it when you hear it. I cannot condone it being in anyone's top 3. I'll give it to you.
Oh, it's Game of Thrones.
It may be a top 10. I cannot in all means accept it as a top 3 favorite show. So we'll start off with I think this one.
Okay, Emmett's just joining us. I'm not looking. I lean to the side, but I can't see your list.
So we're gonna say the first person I'm saying, their answers were Modern Family.
Oh no.
Glee.
Oh no.
And Working Moms.
Working Moms.
You've definitely heard of it. It's a Netflix show. I think it's Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. What were the first two? Glee.
Modern Family and Glee.
And Working Moms. I almost said your mom, but I don't know if that's right. I don't know if she liked Glee.
I don't know that.
Oh, Lauren.
Which Lauren?
Lauren Thomas.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Dang it, she liked Glee.
That was Sarah.
Sarah? I thought she would have been called a midwife. Dang. Maybe it'll be Justine if it's on here. I'm trying to think of shows I know people watch, because like there's things that I've talked about with certain people where I'm like, oh, just doesn't mean that it's their favorite show.
It's funny being on this side of the video, of this side of the podcast, because looking at some of these, to see them, I think like I might have been able to get these. Like I might have
to see the movies. I thought the same thing.
Well,
there's a few.
The movies were weird. Some of these I feel like now. Some of these, if you said them to me, I definitely, because there's some where like there's again, it's like the movies where some of them, 2 of them make sense, and that third one is a fucking weird curveball of like, where did this come from? But in my mind, to read that, I'm like, oh. Modern Family, Glee, I don't really understand. Modern Family and Working Moms, to know Sarah,
yeah, it
kind
tracks.
of makes sense.
It tracks.
But again, that's to read it, not to have it told to you.
Yeah, it's hard. Now I've been on both sides.
So, and you said Lauren Thomas for that?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It would have been funny if you said Lawrence. Like, you're wrong. It's her sister.
Well, same family.
The next person, their answers were The Challenge, Ghosts, and Law and Order SVU.
What in the heck? What? What's The Challenge?
I think it's that.
The MTV?
The MTV show. I think it's just called The Challenge.
Do people still watch that?
Apparently.
Ghost?
Shots fired. Ghost is newer.
What the hell? Is it Jeremy?
That was Ghost is that show that did the great commercial for season 1 where she sees all the dead people in her house and her husband or boyfriend, whoever he is, can't see them, but it's the guy dressed in like the revolutionary thing. She's like, there's ghosts in here, and one of them's dressed like Hamilton. He's like, how the hell do you know Hamilton? Like, whatever comment it is, it's very funny.
Is it Jeremy? Only because I feel like those 2 shows, I feel like he would be more like, he would have a more eclectic, because those are 3 very different. Well, maybe not.
Burn.
No, I feel like he would like a more variety.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Dang it! Blah.
That was Kristen.
Kristen? Okay. Also younger.
She strikes me as a challenge.
Yeah, girl. They're also a little bit younger than me. So I was also thinking,
I don't know if that's offensive or not, but that...
Well, I don't know.
I don't watch it, so I can't say, like... To say someone is a fan of the show is an insult or a compliment, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I would have... Oh, whoops, I put the wrong... I didn't... It was her. Jeremy's still in the running.
Jeremy is still in the running, correct.
Yeah, got it.
I'm trying to find one that you might get to help you out a little bit here at the opening. This person's answer was Arrested Development, Parks and Recreation, and The Handmaid's Tale.
Mandy.
That is Mandy.
Yes! Because we talk about The Handmaid's Tale on the regular. I'm like, I really hope it's her favorite show.
A honorable mention that she gave me, that she said would have given it away right away. It only aired, she's pretty certain, for one season, and it was a show called Reunion.
Oh my god! we never know what happened. Someone's dead and we don't know who killed them. We watched it every week in college. All of us. There's 8 of us. We watched it every single week. And at the end of the season, they canceled it. And it was a show where everybody's at a high school reunion and one of them is dead. And we're trying to figure out who's dead and who killed them. What the fuck? We're still salty about it. You bring that up at a DeSales reunion, we're all going to up in arms. We're ready to throw hands. I'm so pissed. We made it such, like, you know how people have bachelor viewing party? That was it. And we were all in. If we couldn't all be there, we taped it. Like, on a VHS tape.
So you got 2 wrong. Let's see if we can get 2 right.
Mandy will be happy to know I got hers.
Let's see if I can find you one. There's one that I think is going to be super obvious, so I don't want to give it to you right off the bat. I want to save it for later.
Feel good. Let me feel good about myself.
Well, I want to save it for later in case you're like...
Is it my brother's? Because I feel like his might be obvious.
In case you're absolutely batting 0, I want to have that one like in the holster to like kind of make you feel better about yourself.
First, Robin had the zoomies, and now Emmett is up there tearing down the hallway.
Well, he barfed, so he's all full energy now.
He feels great.
Piece of shit. This person's answers...
Oh, Lexi was on here. She would have been a good one for the challenge.
There's some that are funny that they repeat.
Like you wouldn't think those 2 people would like the same shows?
No, they're related in some way.
Oh.
And they have the same answer.
Got it.
I mean, it makes sense, but this person's answers are The Office, Friends, and The Great British Bake Off.
Julie.
Correct.
Yes! Got it. All shows I have talked about with her, so.
Yeah.
I probably watched with her.
This person's answers are... Since you keep harping on it, why not? The Bachelor,
Morgan.
The Challenge.
It's Morgan.
And Love is Blind.
It's Morgan.
It's Morgan.
I knew it. She loves The Bachelor, and I think she just got back into it.
The Golden Bachelor's getting divorced.
Already?
They got married on TV, and they announced, I saw it on Facebook today, that they announced on whatever show, Good Morning America, whatever, they're separating. It's been 3 months, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, excuse me. This person's answers...
I got 3 in a row. I'm feeling great.
Are... Next Level Chef.
What?
Sweet Magnolias and Fire Country. Next Level Chef is the
Your mom?
New Gordon Ramsay show.
Your mom.
It is.
Yes!
I had a feeling Fire Country was going to give it away.
No, it was the middle one.
Sweet Magnolia?
Yeah, because she's told me about that show before.
Oh.
I think I watched a couple episodes.
This list, I'm going to give you this next person. Oh, no, you know what? I'll save that one. This person's answers were Grey's Anatomy, This Is Us, and The Gentleman.
That is Lauren.
Lauren.
Thomas.
Incorrect.
Come on. She likes all those shows.
That was Shannon.
Wow. I guess we didn't really talk about what TV show she watches. What were they again? Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, This Is Us, and The Gentleman.
Oh, wow.
The Gentleman is very...
I mean, they're all great shows. I had no idea.
How do you know? You didn't watch The Gentleman?
No, but I mean, like, they're all...
It's very new. It's based off that movie we watched, that Guy Ritchie movie, which was a good movie.
They're all, like, renowned. Like, I know Grey's Anatomy has been going on a long time, but...
This next person...
So I got Shannon.
You got Shannon incorrect.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Lauren's
going to be so mad that I just keep guessing her and then
What's so funny to me
these are all shows she also likes.
What's so funny to me is we're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only 6 people in, and I
guessed her twice.
I was very like, oh, it could be this person or this person. Like, I feel like my episode was so long because I kept thinking about it and overthinking. Whereas I think you're doing the better play of like, bam, it's this person. You're a hard, like, final answer, yes. Like, you're a hard guess.
Because also, if I get it wrong, it doesn't matter.
Well, we established
that's the better.
We established in mine, I did a lot. I got a lot wrong because I overthought it.
You said the right name.
I would say, oh, it's this person or this person. And it was this person, but then I, like, talked myself into option 2.
You got to go for it.
This next person's answers were... Suits, Psych, and Friends.
Lauren.
Incorrect.
Is it Paul?
That is Lance.
Oh, man, I was so close. I wonder if you liked Friends before or after Lauren.
I'm really yeah.
He could have liked it before. He's of the right age to be watching
he could have. This person's answers were Breaking Bad, Gilmore Girls, and Jeopardy.
Jeopardy? What was the first one?
Breaking Bad.
Is it Brad?
That is incorrect.
Dang it. I think Gilmore Girls is like a guilty... Is it Erica? Well, you can just tell me who's right. What the right answer is.
The correct answer was Lauren Spivak.
Wow. I didn't know that.
You got to watch out for her and those weird answers. Her weird answers. She had weird answers in the movie, too.
No, I just didn't realize that.
Jeopardy's a weird answer.
It is a weird answer.
For a top 3 favorite television show to say Jeopardy is a weird answer.
I wouldn't have put her... I didn't realize that she was like big into Breaking Bad.
It's like Casablanca or the fuck she said for her movies.
Halloween Town.
But wasn't there like a...
She said Halloween. I just remember Halloween
But wasn't it like Halloween Town... what's another Disney show? Like Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, and then Casablanca. And it's like, what the fuck? I actually might have it here.
It was... Her answers were wild. They were wild. And I remember reading them like... I mean, to each their own, but what?
Lauren, Matilda, Halloween Town, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Where it's like... What? What's going on in your brain?
What the fuck is happening?
What's going on in there? Are you good?
Oh, goodness.
And I think we talked about how I rented One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest from Netflix, and I kept it for like 6 months and never watched it because I was too scared, and then I sent it back.
We have to have her on the show to talk about this. Like, I'm promising you now, we're gonna do an episode. I'm gonna get her over here.
I need to know.
And we're gonna
get to the bottom.
Do a deep dive into her weird filmography.
Yeah. What other weird things do you like, Lauren?
Yeah. What other weird?
Give us the top 3 songs.
What other weird like threesome things are happening where you're given like 2 that kind of make sense together, and then 1 total left field answer of like, Christ.
I just love it. She loves Jeopardy. I just love that so much. I don't even care if that's a lie answer. That's just, what a great answer.
This person's answers were Blue Bloods, Yellowstone, and Grey's Anatomy.
What? Is it Connor? I don't know. Maybe he likes Grey's Anatomy because of Shannon.
That is incorrect.
I don't know what Blue Bloods is.
That Donnie Wahlberg show where he's a cop.
Uh-oh.
In New York with Magnum PI.
Who was it?
Tom Selleck is his name.
Nope. Who was the...
The correct answer was your mother.
Oh, I was going to guess her. I was like, is it my mom? But I didn't know. I wasn't sure if they watched Yellowstone or not. Because that was the last one, Grey's Anatomy. I knew that she watched that one.
This person's answers were Psych, Supernatural, and Stranger Things. It's the second appearance of Psych so far, I think.
Yeah. Alex?
That is incorrect.
Dang.
That was Jeremy.
Oh. Good answer with the Stranger Things. But those three go together. That was a nice mix.
This person's answers are...
Man, I was really on a high there. Now I'm way down, straight down.
Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Second time we're seeing them.
Okay.
The Vampire Diaries.
Uh-oh.
And New Girl.
Dang it. Oh, dang. Dana?
That is incorrect.
Dana. I hope it wasn't my number 2 answer.
Erica.
Oh. You know, for some reason, I knew Erica was going to have Gilmore Girls. We must have talked about this, or for some reason, she just really strikes me as a Gilmore Girls watcher. I do know who else watches that show. But I thought Dana really liked New Girl. Maybe there's another show I'm thinking of.
This person's answers are The Office, Arrested Development, and Workaholics.
The Arrested Development really throws that one off.
Why?
Who I was going to guess. Alex.
That is incorrect.
Ugh.
That one was Lexi.
Oh. Arrested Development. What a great show. I miss it.
This person's answers were Gilmore Girls, Bluey, and How I Met Your Mother.
Justine.
It is Justine.
Yes. Get it, girl. I knew your favorite show was Gilmore Girls. I like that she put Bluey. Great job. Let's all admit it. But let's not be weird adults on the internet and talk about it. We just admit that we love Bluey and then we move on.
This person's answers are...
Gilmore Girls has been up here a lot.
It's been on quite a few times. I didn't really notice when I was writing these
4?
down.
I think we're at 4, maybe 5.
That it came up. So we've seen Gilmore Girls. I'll look through real quick.
Because Erica,
1, 2,
Justine,
3 so far.
Oh, only 3?
So far, only 3. And Psych has been on, I think, twice.
Yeah. Arrested Development has been twice.
Arrested Development has come up more than once, yes. This person's answers are Futurama, Lost, and The Office.
It's Xavier.
That is correct.
I knew they just started watching Futurama and Lost, but
this person's answers were Honeymooners, All in the Family, and Family Matters.
My dad.
That is incorrect.
What?
I knew that was.
What?
I knew that was going to throw you. I knew.
Wait a minute.
I will allow you a second guess. I mean, I already marked it wrong, but I will allow you to make a second guess.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to?
Jim. I think it's Jim.
It's Jim.
Dang it.
It's Jim. I knew.
I don't even
I'm
know.
like, I can't do her dad first because she's going to think these are her dad.
Family Matters is the one that got me because I was like, I don't know. I didn't know he liked that show that much.
He didn't.
He did not. Jim did. Dang, Jim. Really great picks. Great picks. Really threw me off. Not a modern show in sight for Jim. Not a show from this century, but it's okay.
This person's answers were.
Man, there are some people on here where I'm like, I haven't a clue. Not one clue what your favorite show could possibly be.
Psych. Again.
Jesus.
Ugly Betty. And Nailed It.
Dana.
That is correct.
Real heavy on the Netflix.
No.
Isn't Ugly Betty on Netflix?
Ugly Betty was on. It's on Netflix now, maybe, but it was on
ABC.
ABC, and it was on ABC, NBC, one of those CBS.
But it wasn't. It's not an original.
And Psych was on USA.
Isn't that also available on Netflix though? Like, aren't they?
I think it's Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where they're available now. They didn't originally air on Netflix.
Got it.
Nailed It. Obviously did, but
good. I'm glad I got you, Dana. I'm glad I got those right.
This person's answers were New Girl, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Breaking Bad.
What? Someone actually watched Avatar the show?
Lots of people watched Avatar.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
It was a Nickelodeon show. It was a cartoon.
Can you give me those again?
New Girl,
Uh-huh.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Breaking Bad.
What the shit? What a bizarre...
It's a great variety.
What a combination.
Great variety.
It's the New Girl that's really confusing me. I'm gonna guess Andrew. I don't think it's right, but I don't know.
That is correct.
Whoa! My other guess was Nathaniel because I was like, maybe he watched that. I'm gonna ask him about it. Like, I didn't know that. I always just thought they were movies, and then I heard there was a TV show. No, that Avatar, but it's not related to Avatar the movie. But I just never knew that.
So Avatar: The Last Airbender was a cartoon on Nickelodeon that was then made into a movie by M. Night Shyamalan called The Last Airbender, and it is atrocious. People of the show, people that didn't watch the show, absolutely hated it. And people who did watch the show, like, scorched earth, M. Night Shyamalan should have been hung for making that movie.
Wow.
It is now made into a live-action series on Netflix that people love. And then, yes, James Cameron's Avatar is...
separate. Unrelated. Yeah. Okay. It always confused me a little bit. That was a straight-up guess.
This person's answers were...
I have to keep an eye on who I guessed already.
The Office, Lost, and Adventure Time.
Nathaniel.
That is correct.
Yeah, he likes that stupid Princess Lumpy, whatever her name is.
Lumpy Space Princess?
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys. I love Adventure Time.
Don't squeeze me, I'll fart.
Don't squeeze me, I'll fart.
That's Tony's favorite part.
Starchy.
We should have them.
Starchy the Gravedigger.
We need to let Nathaniel know that Tony also likes...
I told them that he watched it.
Jake the Dog and Finn the Human. That's what he calls it.
Not a lot left.
Yeah, I'm glad I got those
really
two.
Blew through this faster than I thought we would. We're only at 30 minutes.
I'm glad that I got those two in the right order because I really thought that I would get them mixed up.
Yeah.
But because the Lost, I'm like, they're probably both going to have Lost on there because they haven't seen the final season yet. So I'll allow it.
This person's answers. This person told me in their response that they were allowed to have 4.
Oh!
Their answers are Friends, Entourage, Breaking Bad, and Game of Thrones.
Ew. What?
Which, actually, now that I'm looking at this, Game of Thrones is only on here once.
Is that one, Lauren?
That is incorrect.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if she watched Game of Thrones. She did.
I definitely thought this person told me they were allowed to have 4 was going to be the giveaway. That was Paul.
Paul. See, I would have thought that Paul would have struggled.
Entourage should have told you that it was Paul.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what shows I would have thought.
Lauren was, so that was a group. I sent that as group text to Sarah, Jim, Lauren, and Paul. Lauren was flabbergasted
by Paul's pics.
That one of Paul's was Friends.
Like she just never knew. Maybe back in the day, it's a show he used to like.
Well, then she said you were like the key demographic when that show came out.
Yeah. Because I was young to watch it.
Yes.
Man, Paul, great picks.
This person's answers.
I like how he was just like, I get to have 4.
Were.
I have to like.
Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Cobra Kai.
What?
And Boy Meets World.
Brad.
That is correct.
Some people now, some of these are easier. I do think TV shows are a little easier because I think people talk about TV shows more than they talk about movies. Because I definitely, so many of these I only guessed them because we have literally talked about.
Yeah, because TV shows are more ongoing.
Yeah.
And then
you're watching them a lot longer.
You're watching them a lot longer. You have the conversation of,
did you see this part? Did you get here? Did you get there?
Have you watched it at all? If you are watching it, where are you? Whether or not it got canceled. Did it get canceled too early? Did it run too long? Like,
yeah.
This person's answers are House, Married at First Sight, and The Brady Bunch.
What?
Wild picks. Just a wild assortment of picks. I know I said that
is this Brian?
Andrew had some variety, but is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Who could it possibly be? Alex? Well, you just have to tell me. I won't just keep.
Those 3 were your dad.
What? Definitely not. He just made up some bullshit. The Brady Bunch, I'll give you. Where's the Dukes of Hazzard, pal? We all know that's your favorite show.
In the group chat, I told you they did joke. Nathaniel wrote back that your dad's is going to be, I forget what it was. I don't think I still have it. It was like Dukes of Hazzard,
Hawaii Five-0,
Emergency, and something else. I remember what the third one was.
What's the one where
and your dad joked.
Name was Friday.
Your dad joked back that no, Dukes of Hazzard was already taken by your brother.
Yeah, because he had a big crush on.
He had a crush on Daisy Duke. Like it was a whole conversation. But
if that's not on his list, I'm gonna be kind of annoyed.
This person's answers are Parks and Recreation, Eastbound and Down, and Workaholics.
That one could be Brian.
That is incorrect.
Dang it. Is it Alex?
If you remember from our movie round, 2 people have similar answers. So you should have known that one was Connor.
Oh.
As Lexi also said Workaholics.
Oh. Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down should also probably give it a
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it was Brian, because I was like, oh, that's a weird show. It's probably Brian.
What movie did they both have?
They might have had multiple.
They may have. Where are you, Connor? There you are. Step Brothers, Superbad, and John Wick 4. And Lexi had Step Brothers, The Big Lebowski, and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Step Brothers came up a lot, I feel like.
I don't remember without looking.
All right, so now I have 3 left, right?
1, 2,
no, 4.
3, 4. You have 4 left.
Oh, Jesus.
This person's answers are...
Well, one of these should be given away.
Friends,
Lauren.
Dateline, and Psych.
Lauren. I'm still going Lauren.
That is correct.
There we go. That's my girl. Love a good Dateline. Keith Morrison, of course.
This person's answers are The West Wing, Seinfeld, and Sons of Anarchy. A shame that only appears once, I think, on this whole list.
Brian.
That is incorrect.
Damn it, Jason. I hate you so much.
Damn it, Jason. It was Alex.
Really? Oh my gosh. Now it's between Brian and my brother, and it's going to be impossible. It's going to be absolutely impossible. Really? Those were Alex's answers?
Yeah.
He didn't have The Office on there? I guess he just watches it. It's not like a favorite.
This person's answers
Oh my God.
were The Sopranos,
Oh geez.
The Simpsons, and Roseanne.
It's Jason.
That is incorrect.
Whoa! What's his favorite show, Dukes of Hazzard?
His favorite shows:
The Simpsons, Dukes of Hazzard, and Lost.
Futurama,
Ooh.
The Leftovers, and Wonder Falls.
Jesus, I would have never.
I don't know what Wonder Falls is. The Leftovers is very good. You need to You need to watch The Leftovers.
I would not have.
So if we go back to mine.
Let me see how many I got right.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, comparatively. So I got...
I think.
How the fuck did you... I guess stars? Yeah, stars are what I got correct. So I got 1...
I didn't count it up.
2, 3.
Probably we just didn't say it out loud.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I believe I got 13 right based off of your...
How many people did you have?
The same amount.
Wow.
And you got
11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Isn't that wild?
Correct.
Because you felt like you did terrible. And it seemed like I did well. And
So
I got 11 and you got 13.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I got 13 out of 27. I got almost half. And you got 11 out of 27. I said that. In the moment, I thought I did horribly. And then when I went back and
I think it's because you
looked through like how many I actually got right.
You really struggled through your right and wrong answers.
So much thought into like
where my answers were either right or wrong.
Your answers, like I said, were very. It's this person. Final answer. I was very like it's between these people, and like I really tried to think through like.
As like the just punch it.
Yeah.
Which clearly that was not necessarily the correct play.
It's hard, and it's hard to judge. We were so close. We were only two different. There's only a difference of two correct. Right. And given to you in a different order, you may have gotten different answers.
I never would have gotten Jason's. Never. I would have gotten him wrong immediately.
Like if I would have given you... If I would have done your dad before Jim, you probably would have guessed Jim for those shows. For Honeymooners, All in the Family, and Family Matters.
Right. Yeah, right.
If your dad would have gone before Jim, you would have probably gotten Jim.
I would have probably... He would be the next one where I'm like, okay, well, who would be looking at like older shows?
Yeah. Yeah, I had some wild answers.
The ones I knew almost right away.
Yes.
With the exception of Lauren, because I kept guessing her. But all the shows I picked, she also liked.
I think that was also a big hindrance for you.
Yeah, I kept picking the same person.
I think you would have done better in that regard to put thought into them. Like deeper thought. Not that you didn't think of them at all, but like it would have been better in that regard, I think, for you to put deeper thought into the fact of like you guessed Lauren. I should have been writing down how many times you guessed.
At least 5.
Lauren. I really thought the second I said this person told me they're allowed to have 4 would have immediately.
I don't know. That didn't strike me as like a Paul move. I really thought that would have been
definitely strikes you as that should strike you as a Paul move.
No, it strikes me as Lauren because she would have been like, I can't pick 3. Here's 4.
If you look at, but it wasn't. I said it the way it was told to me. I'm allowed to have 4. That was the text. It was not, I can't think of 3. So when I said to you, like, this person said they were allowed to have 4, to me, that screams Paul. Because out of all people on this list, Paul is the only one to have the confidence to just be like, you asked for 3, I'm giving you 4, deal with it.
You're right. 4 final answer. There was a remarkable amount of people who had Friends on their list. It would be on my list as well.
Yeah, Friends appeared. Let's see.
Did it appear more than Gilmore Girls? Because we had them 3 times. Really?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Okay, so 1 more.
4 times, 3 times. Breaking Bad is 1.
I like that Sons of Anarchy was on here.
I'm upset that it was only on here once. Big ups to Alex for having Sons of Anarchy
great show.
on here. Breaking Bad appears quite a few times. 1, 2, 3. At least 3. I'm amazed that Jason didn't have Breaking Bad in his.
Yeah, because he
did just watch it though.
I didn't realize that he liked, because I knew he was watching Futurama with Xavier, but I didn't realize that Jason liked that show so much.
Yeah, he probably watched it when it was on television.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but he was probably older. It is made for older. It's right. It's not a kid's.
It's made for adults.
Yeah.
From the creators of The Simpsons.
Yeah. Oh, that's why he likes it. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's a very smart show.
Yeah. The episodes I've seen, I like.
Yeah. I don't know. That was fun.
It's interesting to see,
and it was
like,
funny
to think about
me.
shows that I like, where to think like, oh, I had no idea that we liked the same shows.
It was funny for me to peruse through and go like, what order I want to do then. And it's funny to me the ones that, like, some of the ones that only appear on here once, some of which aren't surprising, and some are like
Dateline.
Dateline doesn't really surprise me. I'm surprised Dateline didn't appear on here more than once.
But I don't know if people would mark that as like, oh, this is a favorite show. But like, I've listened to every episode of the Dateline podcast, which means I've seen every episode of Dateline.
I know Dana, when I texted her immediate question follow-up was like, are we counting like reality competition shows, reality, like what are we counting?
Right.
And I said, whatever. If it airs on television, in any way, shape, or form, it's a television show.
There was quite a few competition shows. I'm surprised that Great British Bake Off wasn't on here at least one other time.
Yeah, Julie had that.
That got all of us through COVID. I think we all just need to acknowledge that show got us through COVID.
The Challenge is on here twice. The Bachelor and Love is Blind are on here once. The Office appeared on here a couple of times. Not as much as Friends. No, same amount as Friends. Yeah.
Which I think that's one that...
Well, really, you could count Nathaniel and Xavier as one answer. But... because their lists are identical, except for one answer.
Right, one of them has Futurama.
And one of them has Adventure Time.
Yeah. It's funny that Nathaniel still picks Adventure Time.
It's a great show.
I guess it does. It is one of those where, like, you could re-watch it.
I watched it the first time, and now I'm watching it with Tony.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could rewatch it without having kids. Like, it's probably... high school kids may still be... Because it's not necessarily...
Adventure Time was a weird show that was kind of on the cusp of, like, who it was for. It's
definitely not adults, but it's, like, older kids or younger kids.
But I think it got there.
Yeah.
Because it starts out, like, the first episode is a little scary because it's the candy people zombies. And, like, there is a lot of weird sexual undertone to some of the jokes throughout the entire series. But, like, that's where you get the don't squeeze me all fart.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of fart jokes.
There's a lot of that stuff in the beginning. But then as the show progresses, Like, you get that whole storyline with Finn and his dad, which is super deep. You get the Ice King backstory of, like, that's where you find out the whole show is a post-apocalyptic show. And then he was alive in, like, whatever times, and then he put that crown on, and it drove him insane and transformed him into the Ice King, and that's why he's still alive. And they do that episode where all the wizards bring that thing to life, and it sucks their power out, and then he's back to being
oh yeah,
I forget what his name is.
When you find about his, like, whole harem,
and they have to make the time travel thing so he can go back and tell his girlfriend, like, I didn't leave you. The crown drove me insane. And then she jumps through the portal to the future, and it's like, I'm going to find a way to solve this. Because he's dying without magic.
Right.
Without magic, he is dying. It's a very deep episode. What about his harem?
Because he has all those, like, princesses.
No, he kidnaps princesses.
Oh.
And then Finn and Jake save them, or they escape. But you find out in that episode that when he is going crazy, in the beginnings of him losing his mind because of the crown and transforming into the Ice King, when he's still kind of both people, Betty is his girlfriend's name. And when she runs away from him and he's looking for her, it's, where is my princess?
Oh.
And then you find out, like, this comical storyline is actually, like, a mentally unstable madman looking for his girlfriend.
Right, yes. Yeah,
so he just keeps kidnapping princesses to try and find his princess.
Yeah, it gets weird.
It's a wild show. It's super deep. And it aired at the same time. It aired right before a regular show, which I do think was a show for adults.
Oh.
Did not air in Adult Swim. It aired on Cartoon Network. But that show, I think, was for adults. Tony did watch it. Tony did enjoy it. But that show had a lot more adult-oriented things. And, like, there is some scary stuff in Adventure Time. The Halloween episodes of regular show are scary. Because, like,
weird.
Because, like, Adventure Time has the Lich, and, like, that guy is super fucking scary. Especially in the later episodes where he's, like, half his face is gone and the other half is a skull.
Ew.
It's weird. It's a weird show. I enjoyed it, but Tony likes it.
Yeah, only I made him stop watching it because it started to get too weird.
Well,
I just have him go back to the beginning. Oh, that show's over. Now you can go back to the beginning and watch the early season.
No, I think you can continue on. You turned it off during the Lemon Grab episode, which anyone who even watches that show will tell you Lemon Grab is the worst part of that show. And not shocking, voiced by Justin Roiland.
Who's that?
The co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Oh, I remember that now.
Who voices Morty and
yeah.
Or he did.
Yeah, because it's the
he did
that's
whatever.
How he talks.
He did whatever shit and got fired from that show.
Oh.
I think he was like, I forget what was happening. He was DMing like an underage girl.
Oh, geez. Knew she was underage
or like a 16-year-old. I forget what the fuck happened, but
that's not great.
Yeah, I think it ended up being nothing.
Yeah, but it was just not.
But they
great.
still removed him from the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched Rick and Morty, and I couldn't tell you how long.
I just like Mr. Poopy Butthole. Is that him?
Mr. Poopy Butthole was on that show. That show kind of wore out for me.
Yeah, it did.
Quickly. It got too repetitive.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. And I get like the comfort in like rehashing old jokes.
The stuff that wasn't repetitive was just dumb. I did not understand at all the obsession with the Pickle Rick episode. Where I'm like...
Yeah, where everything was Pickle Rick. Like shirts and socks and so much merchandise with it on.
When it was so dumb.
There must have been like
the premise of the episode was literally Morty, come into the garage. Morty, come in here. And he walks into the garage and there's no one in there. And he's like, on the table, Morty, and there's a pickle there. And he rolls it over and it's just like pickle with a face. And he's just like, I turned myself into a pickle, Morty. I'm Pickle Rick. And then it does like the opening credits.
It's just
and he like makes himself arms and legs.
It's because there was a one-liner of
and
people
kills a bunch of rats or whatever, and then like I forget what happens, but like I'm like, why was this such a thing? Like it wasn't even funny. And that was also, I think the other strange thing about that show was like early seasons were hysterical, but then it turned into like is this still a comedy? Because I'm not laughing anymore. But like it wasn't serious enough to be a drama where I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what this is. What am I watching this for?
Yeah, there was no like through storyline really.
Well, I don't even care about that, but like it stopped being funny, but then it wasn't anything else.
Oh, right.
Like you didn't stop being it wasn't like Barry where you started out as a comedy drama, and then in like season 3 or whatever, you kind of leaned harder into the drama, and then your final season you came back into being a comedy. Like the show was very funny, and then I don't know if the show changed or I changed or what happened, but then like I stopped laughing, but it didn't change into a crime show or a drama or a mystery. Like it just was the same show. I think you just
stopped laughing because it was the same jokes over and over and over again. The episodes just felt very recycled.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't even the same jokes. It was just the same, like...
It was that...
Doc Brown and Marty McFly go on whatever adventure for this episode, and then, like... I don't know. It was just weird. Because I was really into that show. I liked it a lot. I think I also just got turned off by, like... I don't know. I think that's the epitome of a show that the fan base ruined it for me.
Yeah. Well, because they were always so demanding of like a new season, and
well, like, the whole thing with this when McDonald's released that Szechuan sauce, and they were like beating up McDonald's workers, and I'm like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Yeah,
stop it, like stop it. And then you're harassing and hounding Dan Harmon on Instagram and Twitter and shit like that. Like
that's not gonna make things happen.
He posts up like I'm watching whatever TV show, and people are commenting like, oh, you should be fucking at work making a new season of Rick and Morty. Like, get off your fucking ass, stop watching TV. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But it was also like at the time of like...
It was just a weird thing of like, I'm not seeing anyone else do this for anything else.
No.
So like, what is wrong with this fan base that like, you think you control everything?
And Stranger Things did it too, but they had people weren't doing that. People were just saying like,
it's taking too long. Well, Stranger Things was a different element because like at least Rick and Morty, yes, it took a while between seasons. Number one, it is animation. Animation takes a hell of a lot fucking longer than you think it does. Number one. Number two, those still released weekly. Stranger Things was kind of worse because Netflix was like, here they all are. And everyone would go that day and watch all of them. And then after you've watched it, 2 days later, you're like,
when's the next season coming out?
Why is the next season not coming out for 2 years? And it's like, well, because we just got done filming this.
Right, because we have to film.
Like, it just went up a day ago.
Yeah.
I get it. The big complaint is that these kids were in high school in this season.
Yeah, now they're
and they're in 21. High school in next season, but they're all 30 years old. And they all look like they're 30 years old. Like.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
And you rushed them, and season 3 sucked.
But then it came back.
That's what you get.
Season 4 was
the finale better be good.
I think it will be.
There might be another Game of Thrones situation.
No, I think it'll be good.
I don't have my hopes up. I really keep them low. Especially when they've already announced, we're doing spin-off series. And I'm like, nope.
Oh, I'm not interested in that.
Nope. So
I'm not watching spin-offs.
So either it's going to be great.
Or it's just going to be a setup for spin-offs.
Or you're going to do what The Walking Dead did.
Yeah.
And your whole series finale is going to be like, go watch these other shows. And it's like, fuck you.
It's like, I don't want to. Just let this show end. And then if you see a need, then go ahead and.
Well, I'll give you, like, do spinoffs, fine. But, like, end your main show organically.
Yeah.
Don't build up to a finale of a 5th season or whatever season they're on. I think it's 5.
Yeah, I think it's 5.
And then you end that with like, go watch our new shows. And it's like, no.
Right. I'm not going to do that.
Because I'm not going to do that. Like, you're lucky I'm still here after season 3. Because season 3 was horrible. Which is such a weird thing. Like, why was season 3 so bad? Why were 1 and 2 so good and 4 was good and then season 3 was awful?
I think it's just your personal preference.
It was awful. So bad.
Because most people didn't.
It wasn't even like just okay. It was horrible.
I don't really remember much about it except for the Coke thing, the singing, and the weird like mall.
All the bad things?
The mall fireworks thing.
I don't know. It was just so bad. And I can't get past, like, it started out good. Like, the first couple episodes were decent.
But doesn't every show have one season where it's like, this one was a little...
Yeah, but it's usually like season 1.
Well...
Parks and Rec season 1 is not that great because it's like them trying to find their feet and the rest of the series is good. The Office is the same way. It's usually like season 1 is us trying to find our groove. And this one was like, we found our groove and then we tripped and fell into a ditch and then somehow climbed our way back out.
Well, The Office goes way downhill when Michael Scott leaves, so every show has their...
I keep seeing a lot of slander against Robert California and I don't understand it. I didn't mind Robert California. Of all the people who came after Michael Scott...
I mean, the whole thing was awful. It was awful.
What's his name? What's the actor's name?
I don't know.
Who played Robert California?
Oh, shoot. I just had it. It's a funny name.
He was Ultron. He was the voice of Ultron in Age of Ultron. I gotta find him.
It's not Richard.
It's
I was going to say Richard Kind, but that's the guy. That's Bing Bong.
That's Bing Bong. Take her to the moon for me.
Oh my gosh.
I
can see him. I can see him. And his name is...
He's on the blacklist. James Spader.
James Spader. That's it. Spader.
He was good. I enjoyed Kathy Bates.
Yeah, but
she was on The Office. People did not care for Nellie.
I didn't care for Nellie. I didn't like when what's his name was in charge. Ed Helms, terrible. Where he goes in the boat, awful.
Ed Helms was good, but there again, it was a weird situation of like...
It's not the actor's fault. It's just the show in general. Everything in that show is just going way downhill.
Well, the issue with Ed Helms was Steve Carell leaves. And is on record of saying, like, I only left because nobody asked me to stay. Like, Steve Carell is on record of, like, I would have stayed, but no one asked me to stay, so I left to do other things. And then you put Ed Helms in that role, and then Ed Helms is like, well, I'm going to go do The Hangover.
Yeah, and then they
so you put him on the boat, and he's just not on the show.
It was
And then he comes back on like a Zoom call. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't...
Then they had to play the game of like, Jim's in charge. No, Idris Elba's in charge. No, Dwight's in charge. No, it's Kathy Bates and that weird guy from Silicon Valley.
I liked them. Because they have a funny dynamic.
I mean, Kathy Bates is Kathy Bates.
Then they started that whole insinuation that like Jim's running around on Pam. No, Pam running around on Jim with the camera guy.
They do set up that the one girl is trying to have an affair with Jim, and Jim thwarts her. And then they insinuate that Pam is having an affair with the cameraman because Jim is working in Philadelphia.
And
with Craig Robinson.
And then the cameraman gets fired.
Yes.
I don't love that. I don't see why that was necessary.
Apparently in the original script, Jim was supposed to cheat on Pam.
Okay, well then...
And Jim said no.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah. What the fuck is his name?
I don't know.
Oh,
what's
shit.
Her name's husband?
John Krasinski. I'm like, there it is. I'm like the guy from A Quiet Place. I don't know.
It's not like it felt so unnecessary.
I think that's so weird to me that it's on like people like, oh, we love that show. And it's like, but do you? Because everyone I've ever talked to that likes that show hates like a big chunk. Because it wasn't just a season, it's like multiple seasons.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 of them at least.
But then it's a weird thing of like, does the finale redeem it? Because the finale is
so good. So good.
But like, does the finale redeem the whole show?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
To me, I don't see that.
If you loved, we don't love The Office. If you loved The Office, I think the finale redeems it.
But even a show that I don't even know. I can't even think of a good example of this show could have been terrible for however many seasons. Oh, we'll just say Game of Thrones. Because the last, to me, 2 seasons were awful. So, the last 2 seasons are bad. If the series finale would have been great, I still wouldn't have liked it. Because I would have said, what the fuck were you doing here?
But do you think The Office
bad?
Why did you make
me trudge through miles of dog shit?
Yeah.
Just to get to this. I would rather you make me trudge through miles of dog shit to get to it's the kid in the wheelchair who you should have known from episode 1 this is how the show was going to end. But I guess you didn't because it was going this way, and then the 2 people writing this got offers to write a Star Wars movie and said, fuck this, we're out.
And then their Star Wars movie got
screwed. And this tanked, and Disney was like, fuck you, we're out.
Yeah, actually,
and good. For that reason...
Actually, we're good, thank you. We're going to pass.
Nothing made people feel more vindicated than when their Star Wars show got canceled. And they're just like, yeah, that's what you get, fuckers.
I mean... Although I don't know I don't remember the Lost season finale well enough, but that show went to shit. Actually, no, the show was fine. The season finale ruined.
There's not a lot of shows I can think of that
the series finale ruined the entire show for me.
There's not a lot of shows that I can think of that I've watched and I got to the end and I was like, oh, it was not worth it. Except for Game of Thrones.
It's Lost.
I didn't watch Lost. That's about the point. I didn't watch a lot of it.
Oh no, there's another one.
Because there's some.
You also didn't watch How I Met Your Mother, and that was another one where I got to the end. I was like, son of a bitch, this was not worth it.
Nope. Started it, and it was too fresh. Couldn't handle it.
It's good.
At the time of my life, episode 1 was too much. Couldn't do it.
But it goes real fast.
Because I've either...
At the end.
I either follow through to the end, and I've loved it, outside of Breaking Bad, outside of Game of Thrones, or I stop, like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I got so done with The Walking Dead that I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I almost gave up on Stranger Things, but I hung in. I said, I'll give you one more season. If this season's also bad, I'm not going to watch it anymore. And that season was good. So it redeemed itself. But
I don't know if there's any shows that I fully gave up on.
The Walking Dead.
But that was not a show I was watching for myself.
But you were watching it. You might not have started it for yourself, but you were as invested as I was because you caught up.
Yeah, I did. And then they did that to Glenn, and I was like, and for that reason, I'm out.
See, I wasn't out after Glenn.
And it wasn't even that you did that to Glenn. It was why. This is what I call gratuitous violence. Why did you need to show it?
Straight out of the comic books.
But you didn't need to show it. You did not need to show what you showed.
But you could make the argument that it's from the source material.
I don't care. You don't need to show that on TV.
It's from the source material.
But you could have panned away.
I don't know. It's from the source material.
His eyeball could still be there. I don't need to see it hanging out of his socket.
It wasn't hanging out of the socket. It's just swollen.
You don't need to You don't need to show that.
It's just swollen. It's not dangling. It's swollen.
Oh, I wouldn't know because I sat in the bathroom.
I know you did.
And I was so angry.
Because you watched Abraham get his head bashed in.
And I was like, nope, I'm out. We don't need to see any of this.
That was not in the comics.
Too much. Too much. You don't need to show that. Now you're just showing off.
Abraham was the swerve.
We don't know. Stop it. All of it.
What was so weird was that was such a high point. As someone who read the comics, that was such a fucking yes, we're here. We can only go up from here. And the reality was we could only go down.
It kept going down and down and down and down.
That was the absolute pinnacle.
I don't know if after that.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan was so good. His Negan was so good. The whole season building to him, and then he's not there, and people were pissed, and I was like, this is fucking brilliant. And then you open the next season right where you left off.
Yeah, I do like when shows do that.
It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And then AMC was like, we're going to fucking ruin this. You love this show. It's been on for 7 seasons or whatever at that point. Well, guess what? We're going to make a bunch more, and we're going to ruin this one to try and make these ones better.
They were all terrible.
Meanwhile, Fear the Walking Dead had to be rebooted after season 3 because people fucking hated it.
Rebooted to the point where like they needed a whole new cast.
Yeah, you did like a weird time jump, did a whole new cast, we're going to put the finale and the premiere in theaters, and it's going to be dog shit. Because they're really building like someone who's a main character is going to die. But in reality, Morgan's just going to leave again to try and build up this show. Like, Jesus
And it's
Christ.
like, no one cares about Morgan. So, bye-bye. Thanks for...
Then we're going to announce for weeks that it's Rick's final episode. Then when he finally leaves, he's not dead, which we all knew he wasn't going to die because you wouldn't keep announcing that he's leaving.
No, they really hyped it up too much. Like, why?
I knew by episode 2 when they're like, four episodes left. I'm
that
like,
was
he's not dead.
I mean, I didn't expect him to just get scooped up by a helicopter, but
I would have accepted it. If Scott Gimple then didn't go on Talking Dead like, oh, well, he left the show because we're going to make a series of movies. And it's like, God damn it.
What? Yeah.
Stop. And then the movies didn't happen. So you made a spinoff that's fucking Rick and Michonne. And it's like,
none of them are.
And it was even worse that you were like, oh, the big series finale. And I questioned, like, do I watch the series finale? I'm not going to watch the seasons I missed, but like, do I watch the series finale? But weeks before the series finale, AMC is like, we're doing a Daryl and Carol spinoff. And the actress who plays Carol is like, I'm out. I don't want to fucking do this anymore.
Yeah.
So now we're just doing a Daryl spinoff. And we're doing a Maggie and Negan spinoff. And a Rick and Michonne spinoff. And it's like, cool. So once again, nobody's fucking dead. Like,
yeah, it's really weird.
I don't get it.
They really...
You can't... It's the same thing that's happening on Stranger Things. It's not ruining Stranger Things for me, but like, you cannot have a show where so many people die and somehow your main cast, nothing happens to them. The Walking Dead ran for what?
Yeah,
11 seasons?
It's because Rick's the problem.
People who come in episode 1 of a season are dead by episode 5. Meanwhile, Rick, Michonne, Maggie... Careless. No, my point, if he was careless, then other people in the main cast would have been dead.
No, he just goes into somebody else's camp
The point is, it's a show that only introduces new characters, so they don't have to kill main characters.
Yeah.
Stranger Things does the same thing. Oh, we all loved Eddie. You should have fucking known in episode 1 that he was going to die. Because we're not killing anybody in the main cast. So all your new people that you fell in love with in episode 1, they're fucking gone.
The people from the mall aren't dead.
The people from the mall?
The Hawk girl, she's not dead. Steve.
Yeah, but she got partnered up with Steve immediately. So of course she was still alive.
Your chair is very squeaky.
It is very squeaky.
Okay, that's enough.
And she was comic relief.
I guess.
I think you had to pair her with Steve because the dynamic of Steve being a dad. Like, we did that for this season, and then we had to move into something
But isn't
else.
she a lesbian in the show?
Yes. Yes. Because he hits on her.
Right, and she's like, I'm not into it.
Because he's trying to rebound from, what's her name?
Yeah, the sister.
Mike's sister.
Betty? That's not her name.
It's definitely not Betty. It's definitely not Betty. I don't know what her name is, but it's definitely not Betty. He's trying to rebound from her.
It is like a very basic thing.
And she's like, oh no, I'm into girls.
Oh, and then they talk about it. They become like bros.
Yeah. That was the dynamic they needed, so she is still alive. Who died in that season? Oh, what's her name?
brother.
What's her name's brother?
No one cared.
Dumb. Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird, and like the finale was to be all emotional. I'm like, am I supposed to fucking give a shit about this guy?
Well, because
like, yes, he gets like possessed or whatever, but before that, you kind of painted him as a piece of shit. So like, am I supposed to care?
Making out with that kid's mom?
I don't know. I think he just like, it's heavily implied that like they're gonna fuck, and they never do.
And I think they're like making out in the pool bathroom.
No, I don't think they do. It's implied that they're going to, but then they don't. Mike's mom. Well, like he sacrifices himself for his sister, but I'm like, again, you're not changing like what you already showed me was he was an asshole.
Yeah.
And then in the final episode, you're like, but he's actually a good guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
I guess like he has a change of heart or something.
Too little, too late, my friend.
Yeah.
Too little, too late.
Did the show need that? I don't know.
No. Did you need to kill Barb in season 1 and not ever show a body?
Yeah, it was weird.
And then you bring Hopper back from the dead, but you don't bring her back from the dead.
Justice for Barb.
Like, and not only that, but like you bring him back in season 4 or whatever, and like everyone's been talking about Barb since the second you killed her, and you haven't even said like, oh yeah, she's definitely dead. Like you just did nothing.
She's gonna come back in the season finale. It's gonna be weird.
I don't think she is.
She definitely is.
She's the
Demogorgon?
No. Vecna. That's his name.
I think he's gone. He was that kid.
He's definitely not. Pretty sure that's like the premise is that he's not. That's like the.
Oh no, he was possessing that kid.
Did you even watch season 4?
I don't know.
I don't think you did.
I did.
I think we addressed that you
No,
didn't
I did.
watch
Yeah, I did.
the latest season.
Yeah, I did. It was just very scary.
I don't think you did.
Yes, I did. We watched them together.
No, we didn't. I watched them by myself.
I watched it because they're in that weird house, and that guy's Eddie is dead.
Eddie is dead. She keeps going to the gravesite.
And there's all that weird stuff with the cheerleader.
Yeah, you watched it separately.
Yeah, I watched it, and I didn't like it. I mean, I did like it, but it was very scary.
I did remember. Yeah, you did watch episode 1 because I told you like you're not gonna like it.
It was very scary, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to watch it.
It was easily the scariest season.
It was,
which like good for them.
It was horrifying, not bloody, which I appreciated, but
yeah,
it was horrifying. And they had to jump through the hole in the ceiling of the trailer onto that mattress. Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
and you find out that house that they're at is possessed by like a family moved in there, and the kids get possessed. The weird stuff starts happening to them.
No, it's the kid that was at the institute with 11, or not the kid. He was one of the nurses.
Yeah,
handlers. What the fuck you call him?
Yeah. That helps her escape.
Yeah, but he's Vecna.
Yeah.
Because she sends him into the Upside Down, and he's Vecna. She turns him into Vecna. Essentially.
Yes.
Was the big reveal.
Yes.
In the final episode. And she kills that old man. She kills Papa.
I mean.
And then he officiated her wedding in real life.
I mean, I think he was probably not the best of guys, so.
That was a weird back and forth in that season of like, do I like this? Am I supposed to like this guy?
Yeah.
And they kind of did a weird like, but then he died, and you're like, I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah. I think that was a good thing.
Well, I think they kept doing like, they would kind of build up like he's gonna redeem himself, and then it was like, no, I'm an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm a total monster.
Yep. It's like, wait, I might change my mind. Just kidding. Nope, can't do it.
But yeah, we'll see what the latest season of that show has in store for all of us. Thank you for joining us on this exciting episode of the Friends You Can Keep.
I can't believe I only got 11 right.
Podcast.
But I felt good about my answers. I was very confident. I was confident even in my wrong answers.
Yeah, you were very confident in all your answers.
That's all I can do. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, we will be back at some point with this style for myself. Next week's episode is probably just a regular episode, as far as I know now. I do also at some point want to figure out a trivia style show, but I want to do it more in the vein of like getting things from people of like, I'm really into this.
Oh, so it will be like, here's category, like,
yeah.
So if there's 4 of us, there'd be 4
even
categories.
If I did like general trivia, I might still do it as like, here's the categories of general trivia. You tell me, like, which one is your, like, what you do best in.
So,
and then kind of do the however many 4 or 5 categories from there. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. Because I think just doing general trivia is going to be too hard.
Yeah.
And you'll have a lot of wrong answers.
Tailor it more.
But I could easily do like You could do 90s trivia. Even if you did like just specific decades, you could do specific types of movies, specific actors, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. I think that's everything I wanted to discuss here at the end. Thank you for joining us once again. Don't forget to rate and review us if you're listening to this. Wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe if you already haven't. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And click the notification bell so you're up to date whenever we upload new episodes. Follow us on social media. Really, it's just TikTok and Instagram. We have a Threads, but
no one uses that.
People use it.
They don't.
People use it.
They don't.
They do. People use it more than Twitter now.
Yeah, no one uses any of that.
Yeah,
no one's interested.
They do. People use Threads a lot more than you think they do.
It came and then people immediately stopped talking about it.
Definitely not. People still use it a lot.
That's it.
I know. I don't really use it. I post on it every now and then. A lot of people who left Twitter now use Threads.
Why?
Because Twitter sucks.
But why do you need either of them? Just use Instagram.
Because you don't want to post pictures. That's the whole thing.
You don't have to.
On Instagram, you do.
Just put up some nonsense. Just put your stupid thread in a picture in your thing.
I don't know. Twitter was a lot bigger than it needed to be. So then something had to take that place when Elon Musk bought it and fucking ruined it. And Mark Zuckerberg was like, here's Threads.
I stopped using Twitter a long time ago.
I only got Twitter in 2011 when CM Punk dropped that pipe on Monday Night Raw. And there was like a lot of reactions on Twitter happening. So I got a Twitter account for that. I used it for the @midnight hashtag wars.
Yeah, I did.
And
I think the only time I never really posted. They're trying to do it
now on Threads, and it doesn't really work. And I really want to watch that show more than I do, but it's harder now that it's streaming on Paramount Plus, and like I have so much other shit that I'm watching that it just fell to the wayside.
It's not as good.
No, it's
Taylor Tomlinson's not as good.
See, I think Taylor Tomlinson's
She's
fine.
funny, but not.
I think it's the whole.
She laughs too hard at the.
Well, Chris Hardwick did too. I think it's just the whole show is different. Like, there's a different vibe. I don't know. @midnight felt so. @midnight almost felt like it wasn't. Had the vibe of almost like comedians hijacked a half hour of programming at Comedy Central.
Yeah, and
whereas like this feels very produced.
Yeah.
And like corporate because it is.
Like, yeah,
it replaced the Late Late Show.
Yeah, it's just not as. It's not as.
And they're still doing the same kind of jokes, but I don't know. It's just weird.
They feel way more rehearsed now. The jokes.
It does feel way more. Well, no, because that one girl was on and she was just like, I forget what her name is. She was just like saying shit, and everyone in the audience, all the panelists, Taylor Tomlinson, everyone was just kind of like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Like she just kept going.
Yeah.
So like it does feel. I think from Taylor Tomlinson, which is not her fault. It is Paramount.
Yeah, it's not her.
It's CBS's fault. But it feels very like.
Yeah.
We do this at this time, and it goes for this long, and then we do this.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I don't know, when it was on Comedy Central, it felt very like organic and just kind of like.
And like nobody, it also everyone feels like they're way too hyped up. Like @midnight was very relaxed. People would make jokes and laugh, but like they weren't like. It's like Jimmy Fallon level laughing at your guests. Like they're not. Some of the jokes aren't that funny.
Well, I think the problem again is the same problem of Jimmy Fallon and the Tonight Show. @midnight was a show that, like, existed, and it was kind of like people will laugh at this, but it was also, I think, one of those kind of like we made this show for comedians. Like that's what this is, and I loved @midnight. There's a lot of comedians I like and enjoy, and when I really think about like why do I why did I start watching this person? It's because I saw him on At Midnight.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would know who Ron Funches is without At Midnight. I don't know. I would have to guess that At Midnight was the first time I ever saw Paul F. Tompkins.
Yeah, probably.
Like, there's so many people that I would not know existed without At Midnight. But that was a show that, like I said, it felt like it was just a casual. It almost felt casual. It felt like this was a show by comedians for comedians. And At Midnight feels like we are trying to just make clips for the internet because no one actually watches TV
and it's like
anymore.
mass appeal too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't need that.
Yeah, I don't know. When they do too many, I don't know. At Midnight was very like, here's this, you make jokes about it, I give you points.
Yeah.
At the end, we give you this, you write a longer prompt, we pick a winner. The new one is...
They've got a lot of different little segments.
Well, like, it's different segments, and then there's weird games. There's a lot of, like, come out from behind the podium and now stand on this big LED screen and, like, pick from these three, but you all have to agree on it. Like, it's too much. You're trying too hard to make something.
They made it too game showy.
And like I said, it's not anything against Taylor Tomlinson. It's not anything against any of the contestants, but like, CBS, you should have just kept the same formula that it was before. Let it go. Here's the things, you make jokes, we give you points. Not like you're trying too hard to make it something else. And I don't know if that's because you're trying to separate it from At Midnight as like its own thing. Like, I don't know. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We love you. And as always, thank you for being a friend.